Good morning, students. Good morning, all of you. Hope you all are fine and you all are following the COVID precautions. Stay healthy, be safe, and stay at home, students. Don't go somewhere else for playing. If you want to play, just play an indoor game. Okay? Okay. Now, in today's video, we will start with the next artificial fiber or a man-made fiber, that is rayon. So let us start with rayon. So rayon is the artificial silk. It is also termed as artificial silk because it resembles the silk, but it is not the natural silk. It is obtained, like if you to talk about the natural silk, so it is obtained from silkworm. But it was very costly. It is very costly because so that is why somewhere in the 19th century this artificial silk was developed for the first time, and rayon is the first man-made fiber. So it was the first fiber which was artificially manufactured by men, and if you look at its appearance, it looked exactly like silk. So this is how the rayon threads, they are woven together to form a rayon fabric. Now let us see how rayon is produced. So rayon is primarily obtained from wood pulp. Now wood pulp. Now what is wood pulp? It is nothing but a plant source. Basically it is obtained from plant sources. It is again naturally existing, but this exists in nature, right? Wood pulp exists in nature. Since rayon is prepared from something which is naturally exist in nature, sometimes it is also known as semi-synthetic fiber. It is also called semi-synthetic fiber. Why? Because the raw material which is needed for producing the rayon is wood pulp, and wood pulp is natural thing which exists in nature on its own. Since it is obtained from a naturally occurring polymer, that is why it is called semi-synthetic. Now let us look at the process. If you talk about wood pulp, what does it contain? If this is a wood pulp, and wood pulp contains a polymer, that is, which polymer? It is contain cellulose, and cellulose is a polymer. So this cellulose is chemically converted into a soluble compound. So this is how the structure of cellulose look like. So basically it is a repeating unit of a monomer. So this cellulose is converted into a soluble compound by chemical reaction, and this soluble compound is made pass through this spinneret. So you remember this spinneret? It is nothing but a disc-like structure through which the viscous polymer actually forced to come out of it. So they come in the form of thin filaments. These filaments which come out of it, they are then allowed to solidify. They are solidified, and when they solidified complete, they form the rayon fiber. So that's how this synthetic fibers are formed. So basically this is how the process is. So for any of the synthetic fiber, more or less the process involve around this kind of a scenario. So now specific type of rayon are manufactured in many different ways, like depending upon how the processes is exactly happening, which are the chemical substances are you are using. Depending on that, you get different type of rayon. Some of the types of rayon are viscose, modal, lyocell. These are all different example of rayon. Because in rayon also you have many subtracts. Okay. So let us now look at the advantages of rayon. What are their properties? What are their uses? So the most important property is that they resemble silk in appearance. They are a lot cheaper than silk. So they are cheaper than silk. They can be dyed in various colors. So you actually get rayon in many different colors like red, blue, black, yellow, and so on. So due to its availability in various colors and due to its silk-like appearance, it is actually in demand for making different types of garments and clothes. It also makes very good bed sheets and carpets. So for that it is often mixed with some other type of fibers also. It is mixed up with cotton or with some other type of fibers, and that's how new type of fabric is formed. So you would have seen many bedsheet, they are very shiny in appearance, they have a slippery look due to the presence of. Now the next synthetic fiber that we will talk about is nylon. So nylon is the first man-made fully synthetic fiber, because in case of rayon it was semi-synthetic, because it was obtained from naturally occurring polymer called wood pulp. Okay, but in case of nylon it is fully synthetic fiber. That means it is obtained from substances which are like they are not natural polymer. So everything happened artificially. That is why it is a fully synthetic fiber. So if you look at the structure of nylon, they are polymers which is made up from many monomers. Here you can see the structure of nylon. So these are the monomer units in case of nylon. These monomers unit are either acids or mixture of diamine acids. So that is how the structure of the chemical composition of nylon is. So these are the repetitive units you can see on the screen. So you see the same units are getting repeated over and over again, and they are all connected. They are joined together with this bond. So this bond is joining together. And what are these bonds called? These bonds are called amylin bond. Amide, A-M-I-D. I'm not going into detail. You will study in this higher classes. You will learn about acid, base, amines and so on. What I'm trying to say is all these are the repeated units which are joined together to form a polymer. This is how the structure of nylon would look like. Now let's see how nylon is prepared. So nylon is prepared from coal, water and air. So you see here you really do not have a specific polymer from which nylon can be directly prepared. It is just these raw materials, coal, water and air. So with the help of these raw materials, some acids are prepared, some amide are prepared, and that is nylon. So nylon do not exist in nature. The first nylon was produced in the year 1935. So this was the year when the first nylon was produced, and the nylon which is produced is called nylon 66. So nylon is actually prepared from coal, water and air. Coal contains carbon, right? So in the process of preparation of nylon, what happens is two fairly large molecules are reacted together and at moderate temperature and pressure. So what are those large molecules? One is adipic acid and the other one is hexamethylene diamine. Now I told you, right, nylon is composed of diamine, diacids, acids or amines. So basically it is composed of acid and amine. Now here I am talking specifically about the preparation of nylon 66. So for preparation of this particular type of nylon, we use adipic acid and we use hexamethylene diamine. Now you might ask, why do we need coal? So if we directly want to use this acid, but from where do we get this acid and amine? We actually get this from coal. So this hexamethylene diamine is actually derived from coal. Now we are not getting into those chemical reaction here, but you should just know that what we get from coal. Okay, so this is the structure look like when these two are allowed to react with each other at moderate temperature and pressure. What happen is both of them react with each other, and from the process they release water molecule, and what we get is a polymer, that is nylon 66, and this process water is released. So this is prepared by an artificial process. Now just look at the advantages of it. The most important that it is very strong and elastic. It is extremely strong. You can actually compare a nylon rope with that of an iron or a steel rod. So it is that strong. The strength is so much. And it has got some elasticity in it. So because of this, it is used to make ropes. And these ropes are strong enough so that people can use for rock climbing. You can imagine how strong the ropes are. So with the help of those ropes, they climb huge mountains. So they are able to take the weight of the person, not only one person, but if multiple people went on that rope. It has a good strength, and at the same time it is not very heavy. It is strong, but it is not heavy. So since it is light in weight, so it is more convenient to carry it from one place to another. It is easy to wash. Nylon is also used for making socks and some clothes also. So that way also it is easy to maintain. Clothes, ropes, tents, belts, bags, parachutes. That is the most wonderful example. I mean, this tell you the strength of nylon. It is also used to make parachute. So you see there is ropes and parachute are made up of nylon. So and the skipping which you use there also you often see nylon being used. The nylon rod is also used for drying clothes. So there are a couple of advantages associated with nylon. And the most beautiful character is strong and elastic at the same time, light in weight. Now the third artificial fiber is polyester. Poly means what? Multiple, many. Ester again a polymer which contains many ester linkages. Now what is ester linkage? You will study about this in your 9th class, but I will give you a brief introduction here. It is again a synthetic fiber, purely synthetic. It is a polymer containing multiple units, that is more monomers which are linked by ester linkage. What do we mean by ester linkages? So let us look at this chemical structure of polyester. So you see this is how the polymer, this is and show there, this is a monomer and it get repeated n number of times. So we get a multiple number of, so this particular structure which you see is a polyethylene terephthalate. The structure is polyethylene terephthalate. Okay. Now again, depending upon the composition, there are many type of polyester. Let's see what is an ester linkage. So ester is nothing but a basic organic chemical compound, carbon containing chemical compound. And how do you see the presence of ester? This is how the ester would look like. So basically this shows that this carbon is attached to one alkyl group and it is directed to another alkyl group on the other side. So this is how the ester linkage look like. So if you look at this structure, you can actually see that there is a presence of CO. Ester linkages exist here. So this is how the structure of polyester look like. Now depending upon the chemical structure, a polyester can be thermoplastic, it can be a thermoset. Polyester is often mixed with some other fiber. For example, polyester, it is often mixed with cotton and it forms polycotton, or often called polycotton. So polyester again is often mixed with these kind of different material to form a good fabric for like bedsheet dresses, etc. Now let us see how it is prepared. It is obtained from coal, air, water and petroleum. So it is obtained from petrochemical. It is developed for the first time in 20th century. So polyester fiber are formed from a chemical reaction between an acid and then alcohol. So in case of nylon, we needed an acid and amides. But in this case, what we need is acid and alcohol. So with acid and alcohol, we made polyester. So this polyester fibers can be very long and are very stable. At the same time, they are quite stable. So let us look at how exactly do we prepare. This is the structure of polyester. So we are taking an example of this particular polyester, polyethylene terephthalate, and we will see how it is prepared. So now how we prepare this particular polyester, that is polyethylene terephthalate. So for this also we need one acid and one alcohol. So you can see the acid and the alcohol here. So when alcohol which you use here is ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol, it is an alcohol which is used here, and which is the acid that we use? The acid is nothing but terephthalate acid or dimethyl terephthalate. Okay, so in the first step, this ethylene glycol combined with this dimethyl. So you see there are two methyl groups. So due to the presence of two methyl group, it is called dimethyl terephthalate. So both of these combine in the presence of a catalyst which increases their reaction, and they form a chemical, and whatever they form is the monomer alcohol. They form a monomer alcohol. What do you mean by monomer alcohol? That means this particular alcohol act as a monomer unit which undergoes polymerization to form a polymer, correct? So this monomer alcohol is in turn combined with terephthalate acid, and one alcohol and one acid will combine to form a polyester. Which is the polyester? Polyethylene terephthalate. So that is the structure of this one. So that is how the structure would be, polyethylene terephthalate. Now please do not bother yourself with the chemical things with this complex chemical structure, because it should not be taught like this. You should not know the basics. You do not have the basic knowledge of again these things. So we will learn these things in 9th class, but why I am telling you this? Just to give an idea how they are prepared. Okay. So whenever you have to prepare polyester, acid and alcohol, you have to know about this. Okay. So let us now look at the advantages of polyester and why do we use it. So one important advantage is cushioning material in pillow. Now why it is used there? Because there is a couple of things. First of all, you would have seen that how polyester look like. So some of it is also used for making fill the material. It is like a structure which you use to material which you use to fill in the pillow, which is used to make bottles. The bottles which are often used in storing water and many other things. Then breast material, it is also used for making breast material. Now one very important advantage with polyester is that they do not wrinkle easily. Therefore, they are easier to maintain. Even if they are particular, if you wore once, it doesn't wrinkle. So maintenance is easy. It is also easy to wash. So that is why it is in great demand for dress material. It is also used to give finishing on wood product like guitar, piano, etc. So the outer layer finishing is also given by the polyester, and it is also combined with a lot of other fiber to form many different type of fabric. For example, some of the examples of polyester are one good example is terylene, and this can combine with the cotton and it formed terracotta or terracotta. So again, polyester can combine with wool to form polywool. So all these types of fabrics are also used for making dress material. Films for pouches, adhesive tapes, capacitors, plastic cards, etc. Here also you see a lot of polyester. So this is all about polyester. In the next video we will talk about the fourth synthetic fiber, that is acrylic. Okay, it is again a synthetic fiber, but we will study about this in next video. I hope this video is clear to you, student. If you have any confusion, you can ask me in your group. Thank you.